Good day, everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is Trivia Day right here on the Blitz Morning Show. And we also have a jam-packed show lined up for you today. But first, which lived closer to 2019? A woolly mammoth or King Tut? Find out next right here on the Blitz Morning Show. All right, everybody, good morning, and I apologize about the loudness of that. It was, a smidge too loud, but I'll get this crap figured out. All right. Thanks for tuning in. It is the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I thank you for tuning in once again right here, except it is a Wednesday on a Thursday. The whole work week is screwed up. I'm sorry, guys. You only get 2 shows this week. Next week, Monday, we'll be back on track. But before we continue on with the show, who lived closer to 2019? A woolly mammoth or King Tut? That is a very good question. And surprisingly, the answer? The woolly mammoth. Fun fact, the small woolly mammoth of Wrangel Island survived until 1650 BC. And I so screwed that up. Okay, well, I guess King Tut was. He was... Oh. Well, shiver me timbers and spank me silly. King Tut was the one who lived closer at 1324 BC, where the woolly mammoth was 1650. Sorry, I totally forgot how the time spectrum worked. BC, AD. I apologize. It was King Tut, not the woolly mammoth, but I swore it was a woolly mammoth. Oh well. What I wrote must have been true, but I still think it's false. Alright. On today's show, we basically are going to be talking about 2 things. We are going to be talking about the trivia, as well as the weekly wind-up. Because you see, I'm not doing a show tomorrow. Reasoning behind that is today I'm doing the trivia, which should have been yesterday, but with the weekend being a long weekend last week, it just screwed absolutely everything up. So I'm trying to work the shows, trying to get it going, and let's talk about interesting things. Like, for example, Chris Hemsworth is to play Hulk Hogan in a biopic directed by Todd Phillips. Whoa. That is going to be quite interesting, seeing him play Hulk Hogan. But one of the questions is his body going to be CGI, or is he going to go massively to the gym to get like 24-inch pythons? Is he going to shave and wax his head to get the skullet? It's going to be interesting to actually see the end result of him Chris Hemsworth turning into Hulk Hogan. I really do actually want to see more in the life of when it comes to wrestling, because, late 80s, 90s, possibly early 2000s was some of the wrestling that I watched. You had the weird gimmicks back in the 80s of, like, say, Macho Man Randy Savage, The Ultimate Warrior, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Then you get into the early 90s of, like, a garbage man, a hockey player, a voodoo guy. Then, of course, that started to phase out once Vince McMahon decided, well, why don't we just have normal guys with normal personalities to take over? Because you had Hunter Hearst Helmsley or Triple H going from this French, absolute, masculine wrestler who walks in all high and mighty with a glass of wine to go wrestle, to what he is of today, just basically a mad powerhouse. Then you had, like, the Brood, a vampire guy who drank, quotation, blood. Then you had the new Brood. So it just, I want to see. I'm pretty sure there are biopics out there when it comes to these things. I just don't want to search for them. Because, come on, when you have stuff like Eddie Guerrero or even Chris Benoit, now that one would be interesting, especially with what happened to his death of, like, basically the whole family. Like, it's very unique. But yeah, Chris Hemsworth is lined up to play Hulk Hogan. Will it work? I don't know. I did see one video, no, not a video, a picture on YouTube of it, and he does actually kind of look like Hulk Hogan. But you know, brother, I'm going to go to the top rope, do a leg drop right on your face and kick your ass. Okay, that was one of my worst imitations or impressions. I admit it. I'm not that good. All I'm good is two. And the funny thing is, with Kermit the Frog, I need to say, hello, this is Kermit the Frog, to get the actual voice going. Then with Elmo, I can do it anytime, anywhere.
This is Elmo, talking to you live, right here on the Blitz Morning Show. Let me take you into my room, and I'll show you my fishy. Fish, fish, fishy, fish, fish, fishy, fish, fishy, fish.
Hello, this is Kermit the Frog here. See? This is what I mean. So, it's messed up. Alright, I'm pretty sure you're getting sick of my impressions of everything, so let's just kind of carry on a bit. One topic that I seen, it was, how to word it? It was interesting because of the price tag of this particular product. They said, alright, Samsung is in the works, but possibly available to release a phone called the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Alright, are you still with me? Okay, so a foldable smartphone that doubles its size to 7.3 inches is pretty cool. Right? It's pretty cool. But good God, the cost of it, it's almost $2,000 for this phone. And when the audience heard it, people are saying that they could almost literally hear people groan when the price was announced. Jesus Christ. Just $2,000. Like, it was bad enough that people were finding out that the brand new iPhones were costing upwards of like $1,000 to $1,100. Really, if you have it like on a 2-year plan, 3-year plan, 4, it's not even going to be that bad. And I'm pretty sure more people are going to get it because, well, you know, sometimes you just gotta go and you gotta be that little black sheep who stands out, who has something different. But if you build it, people will come and get it. That's all I can say. And with the folding cell, people will buy it just because it's new and it's something somebody else doesn't have. And if you do get it, you're going to be a talk of your group. Yeah, it's just, I tell you, it's a little bit messed up. I don't even know what time I'm at because I'm not on my regular phone. I'm on my work phone. Yeah. All right. We're just going to take a quick little break. And when I mean quick, I mean quick. So you are listening to the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I will see you right after the break. Alrighty, we are back right here on the Blitz Morning Show. Thank you for staying with us through that little bit of a break. My name is Toby Brendel, and I enjoy your company very, very much. And like I said, I'm not on my personal phone, which has all the intro and all that other stuff. I'm actually on my work phone, where it only has that music. One of the reasons why I'm only on my work phone for recording is because my personal phone never charged last night, so I was down to like 15%. So right now it's currently charging, and with everything that is going on, I might not have enough juice to finish a show. And of course, Dingling here forgot to tell you the next trivia, so let's do it right now. What is higher / deeper? Mount Everest or the Marianas Trench? I'll just give you a little bit of time to figure this one out. And if you were trying to figure out trying to figure out what I mean, okay, the size of Mount Everest or the depth of Marianas Trench. All right, you ready? And the answer is, I'm not going to screw this one up. I did double research, and I did find out that the answer is Marianas Trench. The maximum known depth is 10,994 meters, or 36,070 feet deep. Mount Everest is only 8,848 meters, or 29,029 feet. So basically, you can shove Mount Everest in the Marianas Trench and still have room in it to add a little bit more. That's how deep the ocean actually does go. And really, that is freaking scary, knowing once you go down there, you're never coming back. Many reasons, but, you know, that's just how it happens. All right, let's see. All right. One of the news articles that are going around is that the Empire actor that said he was yelled at with homophobic slurs, color racial hatred, dumped some kind of chemical on him and put a rope around his neck, has turned himself in for making a false police report. This story is getting more and more interesting because with the two guys that the police did bring in, they said that this actor set everything up, sent the ransom note, has a receipt for the rope that he bought from one of the hardware stores, and paid these two guys to do it. Like, I do not know what to think, and with the society of today, you do not need to do this. But there has to be something going on. All I know is We'll figure it out in a couple weeks. But now he could be getting charged for making that false police report, which could end up in a heavy fine or even jail time. Ugh, was it really worth it, dude? That's all I can say. Sometimes what you think is a good idea and you think you can get away with it, no. We have surveillance cameras everywhere. People, the cops now, the FBI, anybody who deals in law, they're smart as hell. Don't ever think you're going to get away, because a huge % chance is that you will not get away with your plan. And that is a known fact. And if I figure that out, then you know it's got to be true, because I'm not one of the smart ones, all right? Google puts a mic in the Nest security and forgets to tell everybody. How can you forget to tell people about a microphone in a product unless the person who made the plan, everything like that, sends it down, gets it built, box, labels, things like that? There's one person that might have forgotten. But when you're as huge as Google, hence me using 2 Androids, which is hooked up to Google, somebody done screwed up pretty bad right there, you let me tell you. It just does not make sense when Google forgets to tell people about a freaking microphone in a security thingamajigger. Like, seriously, how can you forget that? Just does not make sense. Dang it. Isa buys build a boat, Isa buys Eliza. I don't know. Hell. You have a huge $1 million, $1 billion company that does that. Meanwhile, a husband forgets to tell a wife that he's going out for a beer. My God. Everybody knows. Everybody can feel the blood splatter, the burning of her eyes into him. And now, it's going to be the other way around. I'm going to sue Google because they forgot to tell me about my microphone. Let it be it. Alright. So, let's see. Let's do it this way. So, here was a joke. Let's see. Over the last couple months, of somebody saying, let's sell Montana to Canada for $1 trillion. Well, apparently now there is an online petition. Thank you. And it is trying to convince the USA to sell Montana to Canada for $1 trillion to combat the national debt that the U.S. has created. I'm not really too sure about this one. Like, $1 trillion? Our national debt is growing because our prime minister basically is like, oh, here you go. Oh, here you go. Oh, here you go. And we don't even have... I'm just... Okay, I'm just going to quit because I don't want politics to be a part of the show. There's a few politic things that is acceptable. And what I was about to say, I have to hold myself back and go from there. But, yeah, $1 million or $1 trillion. And that would probably take at least a quarter of the American debt away. You know, if you're gonna sell us Montana, could we have North Dakota, South Dakota as well? You know, like a threefer? Because I think that would be a little bit better. Because if that's the case, then we can use the pipelines that are in the Dakotas to help ship our oil out. Okay. I'm done. I'm gonna really get myself lost in kerfuffle, and my mind's gonna... All right. What came first? Yes, it's trivia time right here. What came first? The Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty? Find out next, right after the commercial break, and you are listening to the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel. Stay with us. Alrighty, we are back from that commercial. I really need to add commercials in this thing. Anywho, it's the Blitz Morning Show. Thank you for tuning in on this Thursday. My name is Toby Brendel, and let me tell you the answer to the question that was given. What came first, the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty? All right, before I give you the answer, I'm going to give you... Wait. Before I give you what I thought, I'll tell you the answer. There we go. The Statue of Liberty was built in 1876, where the Eiffel Tower was constructed between 1887 to 1889 as an entrance to the 1889 World Fair. So, the Statue of Liberty is older than the Eiffel Tower. And me personally, I thought it was the other way around. Because I thought the Eiffel Tower was built first, then France gave the Statue of Liberty to the US as a gift. I think that's how it was. I'm not really too sure when it comes to that, but I always thought the statue was after the Eiffel Tower. But apparently not, and my knowledge of history has gone downhill. Thank God for Mr. Google. All right. Who here has heard of Ariana Grande? My hand's up. I remember her licking a bunch of donuts. Yeah. I know. Bunch of donut lickers. And I don't mean something else, but anyway. She has released... Hang on. What the hell is going on here? Alright. She has released an album called Seven Rings. And here is a quick, quirky little stat. Alright? Get ready for this. Alright. So, break up with your girlfriend. I'm bored. And thank you, next, are at number 1, number 2, and number 3 on the billboards. She becomes the first act since the Beatles and the first solo artist in history to simultaneously occupy the top 3 spots on the Hot 100 Billboard. That is actually a pretty impressive task, especially with the amount of musicians out there. Trying to get on the Billboard Top 100 is a very, very hard feat as it is. But to do it with 3 songs, then take over the top 3, as much as I don't like her music, I don't care for her as a person, I'm giving her credit because that takes talent and awesome songwriting to pull off, to give to her to do it. My hat goes off to you, madame. I give her credit. There's no point about that one. I've decided I'm going to do a little bit of sports within the show. It might not be in the first two segments. It could be in the last segment. So if you are a sports hater, the next two topics, they're going to be sports. But I recommend staying around for the second topic. It's one of those unbelievable stories that you will never ever think about, but it actually happened, and it cost one team a win. But Charlie Coyle from the Minnesota Wild got traded to the Boston Bruins. Charlie was a good guy who did a lot for the organization, had a huge heart, and was willing to help people out. With the crash that the Wild are doing, like massive crash, they are going to be shaking things up because the trade deadline's early next week. So expect more of the Minnesota Wild to be parted with, to bring new faces, fresh faces, and hopefully more scoring. Because for the last two games, they were shut out both times. And they are, despite holding onto the second wildcard spot, they're not doing well. They went into the All-Star break great. They were like on a 3-game winning streak. Now, it's basically falling flat on their face and biting them in their ass. It absolutely sucks. And finally, what I'll do is I will give you the final trivia. Then after the final topic, I'll give you the answer. All right? What country is smaller? San Marino or Malta? Yeah. San Marino or Malta? Which one's smaller? All right. So, like I said before, there was something that happened last night that kind of left everybody in awe and left a sports team with a loss. All I can say is be careful with what you have on your feet, because a Duke player, his shoe exploded and left the game with a knee injury. So basically what happened was he had the ball. It was like 33 seconds into the game. He tried cutting. Anybody who knows sports knows what I'm talking about. So he tried cutting, and his shoe literally exploded. His foot came out, tweaked his knee, and he left the game. And you're trying to think, okay, whatever. Shoe exploded. What are you talking about? Go on to the Twitter, YouTube, and type in Duke player shoe explodes. His foot literally left his shoe because the seam on the inside of the shoe broke, and he effed up his knee. And he was projected for this year's NBA draft to be number 1. I don't know how well this is, or I'm not sure how this is going to be on his knee, what the future is going to hold, but it could be a possibility of a very negative influence on his performance for the future. But with him being out, Duke actually lost that game by 16 points. Ouch. Not a good thing, I tell you. What the hell is going on? And I have a semi that's coming. What the I don't know what's going on here. All right, that is absolutely weird as heck. All right, so cruising, paying attention to the road, and all of a sudden there was this a trailer with both of his brake lights flashing, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if somebody was in front of him, or I don't know if he was having engine problems, and all of a sudden he turns off to the left. When he turns off to the left, I seen that his left signal lights worked. As I drove by, took a look at the right. They weren't on, but yeah, both of his trailer lights were flashing hazards. Make sure you go and you check everything before you take off, especially when you have long loads like boats, extra cars, trailers, things like that. Because right behind me, I had a huge semi coming up at a really fast speed. Safety is number one, especially when you're dealing with a 60 mile an hour speed limit. I can stop pretty damn quick, but the guy behind me might not be paying attention, or he might be in a big rig who can't stop like that. Alrighty. So the answer, which country is smaller, San Marino or Malta? The answer is San Marino. San Marino. San Marino is 61 kilometers squared. Then Malta is 316 kilometers squared. Alrighty, you guys. I think that is everything for the show. Let me Google 7 rings. Yep, that is everything. Well, thank you for tuning into the Blitz Morning Show. I appreciate it greatly. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theblitzmorningshow@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at The Blitz Morning. We also do have newsletter that we're going to be doing weekly. It's going to be released probably every Saturday or every Sunday, depending. And what it is it's just going to give you a little bit of a quick rundown of upcoming guests, recap of what happened in the previous week. Then there's going to be 3 individual links for all 3 shows, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where you can click on and listen to the show that you possibly missed at any time, anywhere. And it'll be directly sent to your email. So if you don't have a podcast player on your phone, you can basically stream it this way. Or if you're on a computer, you can click on and stream it that way. Trying to help you guys get connected with us as a show to help make sure you're informed with what's coming on this week, next week, and last week. Because, we're trying really hard. Monday, we're going to be switching back to the regular work week. And if you have any questions that you would like to send, make sure you head over to theblitz.ca, click on leave a message. That will take you to our Anchor page. Get the Anchor app, and you can actually leave a voicemail where I can play it on air, then answer it. And let me tell you, we already have one that we're going to be answering on air next week. So come on, guys. Let's get it up. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. You are listening to the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I will see you Monday with Question Call.